And he said, I want to challenge you on some stuff. He obviously is not a Christian, not in the least bit. Actually was trying to challenge me on some of my views. But we had a great conversation. By the time we got done the conversation, he said, man, I'm going to be calling you to pick your brain more. The conversation, but that's because he identifies me a certain way as a Christian artist. The conversation that I had with Kanye West, we were in the airport, had done a show in Canada together, and when we were in the airport, he came up to me and we started talking, and I said, I told him what I did. So, I'm a Christian hip hop artist. As soon as I said I'm a Christian hip hop artist, he said, man, it's been so long since I had a relationship with God. That's how the conversation started. Now, I just think, what if I would have just said I'm a hip hop artist? Right? You probably would have tried to get as far away from me as possible, right? Under the assumption that I'm trying to get on, right? But the fact that I told him right off the bat, it's, who I was, automatically it triggered something, and it started a conversation. So I love how this label. Naturally, I don't have to force a conversation when I'm sitting on the plane. And sometimes, honestly, only how I won't say it is if I don't want to get into a deep discussion. And I'm like on the plane, and somebody's like, hey, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm an artist. And then be like, but see, here's the thing about God, he won't never let it in there. It never ends there. I say, oh yeah, what kind of music? I say, I'm a little bit of a hybrid. I sing a little bit. Well, yeah, what store can I find it in? If I go to iTunes, what section? The Christian section. Not because I'm ashamed, but I just don't feel like talking. But my point is, the reason why I do love it is because it does spark those conversations. Those conversations do come out of just right off the bat. I'm a Christian artist. Even if it's Christian, how do you do that? Like I did the interview on Metro FM the other day, and the guy was like, how does that work? How does Christian and rap work? Or even if it's Christian hip hop is corny or whatever. The point is, one way or the other, whether they want to know about my art or my Christ, that conversation is kind of provoked. So I personally love the label. I do think it's a challenge for the young people, though. I'm going to wrap this up real quick, but I think it's a challenge for a lot of the aspiring artists, because what I'm seeing is that it's not just that we're taking the label off. It's actually that we're disparaging the label. That's what's worse. It's not just that you're distancing yourself from the label, it's that you're disparaging the label, because all the people that sit at the top with that philosophy will tell you now, you know what, I wish Christian hip hop never existed. That's the people who are at the top, who kind of are the leaders of this ideology. These are now people who are saying, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to name the artist if I'm in the public, if I'm in the public square, if I'm on this interview or that interview, I'm not going to ever shout out any other Christian artist, just because I want to get as far away from that as possible. And so what I'm finding is that it's not just people taking the label off and still having this heart where they feel unified with the rest of us, but they actually begin to disparage all things Christian, the Christian community, anything that represents Christianity, the church in some ways. I just heard an interview with somebody who's a Christian. He was on a mainstream station, and on this interview, they just kind of, they both the non-Christians and the person who was a Christian, supposed to be representing us in the church, were basically tearing the church down. I mean, just blasting the church. And again, the church has its problems. We know that. But as a believer, it's our responsibility to speak highly about Christ's bride. Yeah, we can point out the flaws, we can point out the challenges, but when all we do is join into the chorus that says, yeah, they hypocrites. Yeah, they are hypocrites. And wait, ain't you one of them? What I'm saying is that what I found is that it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop with just I'm taking the label off. It actually seems to always spiral downward, and there always seems to be a devolution with all things concerning Christianity, not just Christian music. And there's a whole lot that I could say to that. Maybe we can talk afterwards. I just don't want to keep going on that one point, but there's a whole lot of things that I want to speak to that. But I do think that there's a lot of problems with it, although maybe there is a space for it.
Yeah. My question is about you being so famous and being a celebrity. How do you manage your family, your kids growing up in that fame?
Yeah.
And the other question is, how do you use your celebrity status to minister to other celebrities? Like, I believe, I think you get in touch with people like from Hollywood or other famous musicians. Do you have deliberate programs like that you use them to minister Christ to them?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I was talking about Kanye West. You know who he is? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I wasn't saying it like that. I was assuming maybe he didn't know who he was, and he asked the question.
I meant more like deliberate programs, not just like meeting it by chance, you know. Yeah.
Oh, you mean like getting on their programs and things of that nature?
No, like
intentional ministry,
yeah.
Like you actually got some tactical stuff.
No, just just as our roads as we pass along the way. Yeah, we end up having those discussions. My family, well, like for example, I'm actually going for 2 months right now. But